Hello everyone, and welcome to this interview for the Global Online Happiness at Work Summit. I'm Isobel Colson, the Get Going Coach, and I'm here today with Lisa Zevi of Real Business Builders. Welcome Lisa, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. So Lisa is a business coach who works with entrepreneurs and business owners. She helps them free up their time, take control of their business, and get the best from their people. She's all about building a business that works for you. She recently published her first book, here's one, The Real Entrepreneur, How to Simplify and Grow and Enjoy Your Business. A few weeks ago, it became the Amazon #1 bestseller in the small business and entrepreneurship category for business books. Well done, Lisa. You must be really pleased.
I am. I'm really thrilled. It was quite a surreal moment seeing my book going above Simon Sinek and then heading to Ask. It was all a little bit surreal. So yeah, thank you so much.
Well done. So the reason I wanted to interview you for the summit in particular is because I know you have a special interest in helping business owners and entrepreneurs to be happy at work. What are the particular challenges that business owners and entrepreneurs face?
So in my experience, what happens when you start a business is that you're very good at one particular thing. So maybe you're a really good designer or you're a really good engineer, and you have this idea for starting a business. But the issue is when you start a business, you go from being this specialist, having this one thing that you're really good at, to having to be a generalist. You're crawling under the desk to try and figure out how the IT works. You're dealing with the accountant and legal, and suddenly you're having to do so many things that push you right outside your comfort zone, and you're spending less and less time doing what you actually know and what you're actually good at. And people find that overwhelming and frustrating, and it just puts them way outside their comfort zone. So they, for me, are the sort of particular challenges that you have when you start a business. Is you go from being a specialist to a generalist all of a sudden, and I think that, or in my experience, most people don't expect that to happen. It sounds logical, but it comes as a surprise to people who find it really overwhelming.
Okay. And how do you help them overcome those issues?
Well, it's really about sort of bringing them back to why they started their business in the first place and what that specialist skill is. So if, say, for example, you're an engineer or a designer, I ask people, how much of your time do you actually still spend doing that thing that you're good at? I use a profiling tool called Talent Dynamics that helps people understand how they're wired and where they get their energy from, and it helps people understand, kind of reconnect back with what that core reason is, what that core passion is, and also what they're good at and where they add value, because a lot of people feel like they're not adding value anymore. They give themselves a really hard time for being spread too thin and not necessarily being very good at those things that I mentioned, the admin, the finances, the legal, the IT, whatever it might be. And I help them refocus back in on, this is the area that you're good at. You know, you're really good with customers, or you're really good at designing, or whatever it might be, and help them understand that actually, in order to add the most value to their business, they need to be focusing on that bit of the business, and then them find other people around them. They might already have team members, or I help them bring people in around them that have then complementary skills and are wired in different ways, so that then the entrepreneur can be back in their zone, if you like, in their lane, in their specialism, and really into their strengths and adding value to the business. So in a nutshell, that's what I'm trying to do with my clients.
Okay. And once you've helped someone get back into that lane and into their zone, what's the impact on them? What happens to them?
Well, ultimately, and it sounds like a cliche, ultimately they're happier in their work. I mean, people often start a business because they're really passionate about what it is that they do, and they find themselves only doing that for 10, 20, 30% of the time. So they're spending more of the time doing what they love is the most important thing. But I think more practically, their business is much stronger. Their business generally generally grows, because they are focused on the area where they can add the most value, and they're bringing in people that actually do all those things that they were drowning under. They do them better than the entrepreneur would. If you get somebody in that's better at admin, you get somebody in that's better at systems, they'll do it more quickly, more efficiently, they will be happier, and then the entrepreneur or business owner is released to do the bit that they do best, which often, in the case of my clients, is the selling, is the product focused, is the more outwardly facing piece. So then they can drive the business forward, rather than drowning in the things that take too much of their time and actually feel like dragging them backwards.
So really what you're saying is you release them to do the things that they do well, which gives them more energy.
Absolutely.
And as we know, they're then happier at work.
Absolutely. And so are their people, because often the entrepreneur is kind of interfering in areas that they shouldn't really be interfering in. So once people understand where their energies are and how to play to their strengths and how to leverage each other, actually everybody is happier. So although my primary focus is on the entrepreneur, the business owner, actually I do a lot of work with the team. Ends up that each of the team members are happier at work and not just the business owner. So it is a win for everybody.
And do you find that business owners are sometimes reluctant to relinquish that? Is that part of what you do?
It is. So when you start a business, it's your baby, it's your idea. You start on, it's just you. And as you grow, you need to start seeing your business as a separate entity from yourself. That can be really hard. And a lot of entrepreneurs are, I'm trying to find a different word other than control freak, but hey, let's go, go for that. I'm one myself, let's own it. So that tendency to want to control everything, you know, I understand my business better than anybody else. I know how to do it better than anybody else. And may be true, and that probably is true, but that's not a scalable model. So learning how to let go, learning how to give other people the objective that you want them to achieve without necessarily saying, I want you to do it exactly like this. Really hard. So using my coaching skills to encourage and cajole and push sometimes people to let go for of their team and for the good of their business is very much a part of what I do.
And the talent dynamics, using that profile actually is a way of really showing people that that's why they need to do that, because you can show them where their skills lie and where their strengths lie, and therefore explain why they're maybe not doing some of the other things so well.
Absolutely, and it can be really eye-opening. I've had people get very emotional when they get the results of their profile. A lot of people feel very guilty, for example, about being crap with admin. This is something that I hear. I'm with systems and I'm crap with admin.
Who says that?
People that I may know. And people feel guilty. People feel really guilty about that, and showing people their profile and going, well, actually, you don't have a lot of that energy that is typically with that kind of detail or that kind of level of organization or systems. You just don't look at the world that way. But look, this is, you've got of energy, and actually you're really good at this and you love doing this, don't you? It reduces the guilt. It really frees people up to be who they really are. It's like saying it's okay to be you, and that can be quite a profound thing for people. Absolutely.
Have you got a story or an example that you can share with us? I mean, obviously you've got client confidentiality, but is there one that you could share?
Absolutely, yes. I'd love to tell you about my lovely client called Sophia. When I met her, Sophia runs a children's charity that specialises in helping children overcome childhood trauma. So she lost her mother when she was a teenager, and it left her and her brothers and sisters feeling having to deal with all of those feelings of guilt and trauma. And she appreciated, or she thought, wouldn't it have been amazing if I'd had somebody to work with when I was going through that trauma. So she set up this charity, and when I met her a couple of years ago, she was at the point where she'd set up the charity. It was very successful. She'd done great things with that. She had a team around her, and actually she was feeling quite kind of constrained, and basically she said to me, I think I'm falling out of love with doing, I think I really want to start something else, and yeah, I'm going to give it up and start something else. And I said to her, well, that's fine, but maybe you need to think about what's going on and why you're feeling like that, because otherwise often start something else, by all means give me a call in 2 or 3 years time. You feel like this again
when you hit the same problem.
Exactly, because we don't address what's going on then we do just kind of go around in these cycles. So what I did with her is I did her profile, and she was a typical example of somebody who's very creative, lots and lots of ideas, which is why she had the drive to set up the charity. Very good with people, very good at networking, very good at finding the people to fund the charity, so really great at what she does. But she didn't have much of this what Talent Dynamics calls energy. So the structure, the organisation, the admin, if you like, the systems, the data running of the business or the charity in her case. And when she saw that, it was really, really eye-opening for her. Her permission to be who she was. And what I suggested to her is that she needed to find somebody to run the charity for her so that she could focus on the bit she was great at, which was the networking and the fundraising. So she found Anna, and we profiled Anna, and then I went up to meet Anna and Sophia. And when Sophia picked me up from the train station, I said to her, what do you want from today's session? And she said, well, Anna's doing amazing. She's doing great. I've given her so much, but what I really want to do is give her all running of it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So when I got into the room and I said we started the session and we talked about the profile, I said to Sophia, please, will you tell Anna what you told me in the car? And she was like, oh, really? I told you that in confidence. Please trust me. Please tell me what it is that you told me in the car. So Sophia said, Anna, you're doing a great job, but I would really just like to give it all to you. I'd really like not have to be involved in the day-to-day at all. And I said to Anna, tell me how you feel about that. And Anna went, bring it on, She was just like, give it. And the look on Sophia's face, can I actually get rid of all the bits that I don't like, that I'm not very good at, and can I really just do the bits that I enjoy? It was quite a moment actually for them.
I can imagine.
1 year on, they're both really thriving. The charity is going from strength to strength under Anna's stewardship, and Sophia is involved in lots and lots of different initiatives that are all feeding into the charity. It's really great, and both of them are really playing to their strengths, and so that's a really good example of what can happen when you really own who you are. And I would say both of them are a million times happier than they were before. It was going to leave, and now I can't imagine that she would ever do that, because she's having the time of her life. She's really happy.
That's a wonderful story, and the bit that I really hear is the fact that Sophie couldn't imagine being able to give all that work to Anna, but actually that was exactly what she needed to do. So this assumption that we have that is based on our own preferences, that means we don't think we can give this work to someone else, but actually that's, for the other person, that's exactly what they want us to do.
I think intellectually we get that we're all different. But we all see the world through our own set of stuff. And so it's very difficult for me really to understand that you might love doing what I don't. And it's actually difficult for you kind of emotionally to get that I might love a good spreadsheet and you might, I think we're all smart people. I think we understand intellectually, but somehow we don't feel it. Because things that we think of are as boring and admin. I remember meeting one business owner, very creative, he's a musician, and he said, do you mean to tell me, Lisa, that there are people that like doing data entry. Yeah, there are people that really, really, really like doing data entry. I think something inside me has just exploded with joy. So I was like, okay, brilliant. That thought that somebody else could actually love to do, because there's a lot of guilt associated with giving other people shit tasks. And I have to explain to people they're not shit tasks. What you find boring and dull and is somebody else's perfect job. And that's the amazing thing about happiness at work, is that we can all be happy at work, but to find those things give us energy, put us in flow, the zone, whatever you want to call it. But I believe, I passionately believe that is possible for everybody. I really do.
Well, you're in the right place. That's what this conference is, this summit is really all about. Absolutely. And that's why I really wanted us to talk to you, because I think what you bring to this discussion is this element of profiles and psychometric profiles, which really help us understand the way we work. And I agree with you totally. I think that's a really important part of it. So let me bring you on to the next question. If somebody is watching this and the stories that you have related and the kind of situation you've explained resonates with them, what is, other than reading your book, of course, which I would thoroughly recommend, what could someone do? What advice have you got?
Well, I really would. I mean, you mentioned psychometric tests. I mean, there are a lot of them out there, and a lot of them actually get a bad name because people use them and then don't do anything with them. So
they put them in the bottom drawer.
Yeah, exactly. People go to me, oh yeah, I've done profiling, and I always say, well, what did you do with it? So the tool is not the answer, but I would say that's a great starting point. I use Talent Dynamics. I love it. It talks about energies. There are other ones I know that you have used other ones. We've both, there are many out there on the market. So you've got to find the one that works for you. But I would definitely say that the level of self-awareness that can come from doing from using such a tool and getting somebody like me or you to explain it to them so that you can understand what your preferences are. And then the next step is, what does that actually mean then? Because these tests are not about telling you what job you should be doing, or it's not about putting you in a box, but it is about starting that conversation firstly with yourself to say, well, what is it that gives me energy? What is it that I do? Not in terms of a job. People often get stuck in this, what should I do? It's about the activities. What are the activities that you enjoy doing that fill you with happiness, that you feel great? Is it that you are somebody that really likes to get a lot of things done, tick a lot of things off a list? Is it somebody that likes collaborating and working a lot with people, that likes a lot of variety? Is it someone that like a lot of structure in your day and like to be in a quiet room and do a lot of research and get really deep into the data? We're all wired in very different ways, and what I would say is, you might think that you know yourself, but I found taking the profiling test quite eye-opening. And then when I profiled my nearest and dearest around me, I found that even, for example, my husband, who I have known for many years, even seeing somebody that you know quite well through that can be quite eye-opening. So I would definitely suggest starting with that and then thinking about what activities that you enjoy rather than jobs. I think it's to say I like my job or I don't like my job, but I think it's about what are the things that you do, what are the bits that you like, what do you like to spend your time ultimately. And as I say, I think a profiling test is a really great way to start that, and getting clear. I think then the next thing is getting clear about why you do and what really matters to you, because again we all have different things that drive us, different values, which lead then to our purpose, if you like, what we really want to do with our lives. And I think getting in touch with those things are a really good route through to being happy.
That's a good place for people to start.
Absolutely. Okay. Yes, and for business owners in particular, because I know that your conference is aimed at many different kinds of people. So business owners in particular, really stop doing everything yourself. It says on the back of my book, like, seriously, I know maybe you don't think that you have the money to hire somebody else.
Yes.
Different ways of doing it, but doing everything yourself is the quickest
Yes.
way to burning yourself out and falling out of
Yes.
your business. So please don't do that.
Yeah. And you talk about the entrepreneur myth, don't you? I particularly, that kind of concept resonates with me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, entrepreneurs are the new heroes of the day. Our politicians are failing us left, right and centre, whatever. Whichever debate you're on, we are desperately looking for leaders, and entrepreneurs are becoming, I believe, the sort of new leaders of our age. But with that comes, as you said, the entrepreneur myth. This myth that we all need to be crushing it in the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's hard, and we're banging our head against a brick wall, and there's sort of quite a lot of machoism around it, I think. And that's great. If you want world domination, that's brilliant. But I always say success actually looks very different to different people. So for somebody, it might be being able to take their daughter to ballet on a Thursday afternoon. It might be able to be connecting with their friends and having coffee on a Monday morning. It might be more about balance. Some people want a small lifestyle business with a few people, a small team that's producing a nice income, and other people want to take on the world, and that's fine. There's this kind of myth that we all have to be big, better, and expand internationally and have hundreds of people working for us, and that's not what everybody wants. So I would always encourage people to spend a bit of time at the beginning thinking about what is it actually that you want, what is actually going to make you happy. And these myths out there, running a business is hard, but if it's really hard, I think you do need to say, why is this so hard? There is a way you can get stuck in the kind of echo chamber of our own heads, and I think finding different perspectives and different ways of doing things and doing it your way, which is why I'm all about building a business that works for you. That is different. That is going to be for you than it is for me and for with my clients. So I would definitely say to all the entrepreneurs and business owners out there, think about what's going to work for you rather than following. If you want to crush it in the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm not anything wrong with that, but that might not be you, so that's also fine.
Okay. So a little kind of more personal question for you. Can you tell us about a time when you've been really happy at work?
Do you know what?
Why?
Yeah, this is a really hard one for me, because I've actually been really fortunate through my career that I've pretty much loved every single job that I've had. Not every single day, but every single job, which is why it hurts me and offends me so much whenever I meet anybody that doesn't love their job. I sort of compelled to try and help them find a way through to that. I'm actually happiest when I am helping people get clear. I have quite a structural way of looking at things. So I have run projects and managed teams, and now in my own business now as a business coach, I think the times when I'm happiest is when I'm helping people find a route through the overwhelm, the frustration, the clutter, whether it's helping them make a plan or just get really clear what's bothering them. I love that feeling of when somebody just gets that aha moment, and I feel like I've helped get there. And I've had that through my career, even before I realized that I was a coach and then trained to become a coach. I've had those moments through my life and through my career, and I think that's when I feel happiest, when I feel like I'm adding value, but particularly around clarity.
Okay, great. Lisa, thank you so much. It's been really interesting, and especially to hear you talk with such clarity about what you do. So thank you for being with us. So just another plug for Lisa's book. Okay, we will put at the end of this video, we will put some contact details for you and explain how people can contact you to book a call with you.
Great.
So thank you for being part of this summit.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thanks very much for having this discussion, and good luck with your book.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Lisa. Bye.
Bye.